Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from everywhere. Good morning from Washington, from Vancouver, from Dubai, from Abu Dhabi, from Florida, from Saudi Arabia, from Finland. Hey!
Hi ladies. Good
Hi!
morning, good afternoon, good
Hello.
evening.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, so amazing. So today it's a special day because we are celebrating the International Women's Day. We all know that we don't need one day to celebrate this kind of things. We have the whole year. But for me, this kind of occasions is just to highlight who we are, to celebrate our achievements, and to empower others and inspire others to believe in themselves, to trust themselves, and then to never quit on themselves. So today I picked up a subject that is dear to every single woman, which is the power of self-love. If I have to define self-love today, I will stay here for like 2 hours, and this is not the aim. But I will talk about like 3 elements that I struggled with personally, and that maybe you can relate to them. So self-love is self-acceptance. Also, it's accepting who we are, where we are, and doing our best also to reach our destination. So self-love also is about not allowing people or things to drag us down. And then do you hear me? I have the impression that I am not, yeah, okay, fine. So self-love also is about forgiving ourselves, forgiving that sometimes we cannot be true to ourselves, forgiving others also. There are a lot of things that is related to self-love, and self-love is also about creating this general well-being, which can be physical, mental, emotional, social. It's we need to look at it from a holistic point of view, because in order to create this well-being, we need to create this balance between all these areas of our lives. So today, I'm so excited that we're going to share our stories and be able to inspire maybe others. And I would love to start by our amazing Tarja, because she was sick yesterday and she made it today. And then this is the kind of woman I am proud of. They never quit on themselves, and they always show up anyway. So Tarja, sorry if I pronounce the name
It's
not
okay.
correct. Okay. So tell me, Tarja, let me just tell you a little bit about her. She's a mentor, university lecturer, and psychotherapist. So yeah, go ahead and say something.
Well, this is a tribute to my mom, who is laying now at the moment in the hospital. And she was raised by a strong woman, my grandmother, who was left alone in the Second World War. And my grandmother had 3 daughters. My mother, who was then by the time 6, and her sisters, who were 4 and 2. And every day my grandmother went to work, because they just built the house before her husband died in the war. And my mother was supposed to take care of her little sisters, and by the time she was 6. And every morning she left, and every evening she came back, and she was always worried about, how do the girls manage there. And those 3 girls, including my mother, they became really strong women. My mother was she got married with my father to the countryside. And by the time at 60s, they were not supposed to be, women who work outside of the house, especially if you have your own farm. And she said, no, I want to work outside the house. So she got her driver's license, and she decided they quit the farm, and she went out to work. And she's always been the most resilient, calm, and kind person I've ever met, and also my grandmother. So I had the big, I would say, blessing to be surrounded by this powerful woman who found their way. They raised their children, and they were still able to create a career. So I want to inspire everyone, in whatever situation you are, to just follow your own path and find your own way and trust in your own mission and vision. So thank you, Hanane.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, this kind of stories, it's just a reminder to every single person of us that no matter what happens, and I know that sometimes things may not go as expected. So yeah, and she made it. Well,
Yes.
I hope that she will feel better today. And then thank you for sharing this story.
Thank
Yeah,
you. And
she's
before
been
we
an-
move on,
Yes.
Sorry,
One
I
more
just-
thing. She has
Yes, please.
inspired me to become an entrepreneur myself and raise 4 children as well. So thanks to
Yeah.
her.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
tribute to all amazing women around the world.
I just wanted to ask everyone to, first of all, to acknowledge, besides our guests here, to acknowledge our viewers, the people who are watching us and who give us their time and are also sharing comments and nice words with us. Guys, I would love to ask you to send a prayer to Tarja's mom, who is lying on the hospital now. Tarja and her mom are going through difficult moments. So besides praying for the women in Ukraine, and I hear you here, let's also pray for Tarja's mom, because our energies together can help uplift her energy and, you know, maybe support her in her journey of healing and recovering from the stroke that she suffered from yesterday. Thank you so much. That's what I wanted to add, because we are here together to empower people, and I think prayer is also one way of empowering each other and the other women in the world, so
Absolutely.
and other people. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we have our next guest, right? Is Dr. Mozhgan, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Mozhgan. So Dr. Mozhgan is a OBGYN. It's easier for me to say that. And she also is a woman who empowers other women through her field of work and through speaking up for everyone who is not allowed, either by the culture or by the bringing up or by the society, to speak up for themselves in regards to a field that is so important to our well-being as women, which is our intimacy and our health in regards to our intimacy. So thank you, and looking forward to hearing your story, Dr. Mozhgan.
First of all, happy International Women's Day to all great women here and who are watching us through this live stream. My story started like Tarja, through my mom. She inspired me a lot. Like your story, I believe that we have many common stories. She had to move after World War II, that they attacked in Azerbaijan of Iran. They had to move from Azerbaijan to Tehran, capital of Iran, and she struggled a lot to study. And for studying and getting graduate as a master of midwifery, that time she did a lot of effort and she struggled a lot. And finally, when I was born, we were living in very small, tiny, beautiful city north of Iran. And my mom was the only source that the girls there, they had for education about intimacy. And this inspired me to be a gynecologist. And finally, I reached to the point that I'm trying to break the taboos and help women about this problem. Around 40% of women worldwide and 59% in Middle East and North Africa are suffering somehow from intimacy problems, but usually they hesitate or they shy to talk about it. It impacts their relationships, their confidence. And of course, it's one of the most important factors of self-love, that they should enjoy the intimacy, but they cannot, and even they are not speaking up about it. So I'm helping them by providing last up-to-date methods that we have for treatments, educations, and multidisciplinary team approach for the treatments that we have for this purpose.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this. Well, you see, somehow our stories are different, but you see, resilience is always behind every single story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about let's go and Ambreen, our psychologist, our amazing mentor and author. We would love to hear from you also today.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Hanane, first of all, inviting us here and like giving us the opportunity to speak on this topic, because I feel many women need to hear this, because they have all this spark in their heart, and which they just need an encouragement from the like women leader, or like or the women just like them. They just need to hear these stories so they can continue with their dreams. So I would just say I would start my stories like I started like my career from Pakistan, and I was enjoying my career, and I had like big dreams, big ambitions to to continue with my career. But then of course my husband got a job in another country, and then of course I had to leave my career. Like I was really enjoying it, but somehow of course you have to, as being a female, you have to manage your personal life and your relationship. So anyways, I had to leave my career and then move to another country. And then of course it was the struggle began there, because of course there was then I had like my kids, and then of course I had a struggle to choose between the personal life or a career. And then of course I had a lot of ambitions to continue pursue my career, but I had a choice, like settling in another country with kids and having a career was a difficult choice, and especially in moving in a country where the opportunities for women was not as much as compared to my own home country. So it was a big struggle. Even when I moved to the other country, I was really depressed, because I was literally I was in a home is stuck with kids and doing nothing, and whereas I had like big dreams. So I was quite depressed. But again, when you have a dream, when you have a passion, that is something that gives you an energy to move on, to find ways to to live your dream. So that's what I did. The initial phase was depressing, but then again I tried to find out the ways to work around that, and that's how I came into the entrepreneurship. And then I started my career, established my career from zero again. Then, and especially in the environment where the women were not taken as serious, or and there were not much opportunity, this was a huge struggle. But again, with like continuous struggle efforts, I did manage to establish a career there. And the other thing, because like I was seeing the same like women who had the same journey, and they wanted to continue. So I started like making communities even in the city where I am. And that so we I arranged like a lot of gatherings, and I give them talks, and I give them like a lot of counseling and give them mentoring, so they don't give up on their dreams as well. And then again I started writing. So I feel that, because I feel that people are stuck in their life just because of a very little thing. They just need to solve this small, if they get just simple solution, their life change. So that's why I started writing, and I start counseling people. So I see, and it feels so good to see that when you help a little and their life changes, they flourish in their lives, and it's so satisfying. And that's why I started this journey on LinkedIn as well. I continue posting about motivational posts, and and dealing about how they can deal with their mental health, or how they can come up how they can deal with their depression, anxiety, or whatever their problems are, especially when they are stuck in their life. So that's, I would say, a brief journey of my career and personal life.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
Let me
you.
hear.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing up the point that talking about your depression phase, right? Because we all have moments in which we go through depression. We all have moments in which we are anxious, and we all have moments in which we feel at the lowest. But very few people, especially women, very few women, not especially women actually, because men also go through that. But because we have so many other responsibilities, we literally don't think about that, and we don't talk about that, and we struggle. Many women struggle, unfortunately, alone. And as with Hanane, we talk about that quite often. Is we started this show because we know that sometimes it takes only one word, only one story, only one inspiration that can change a person's life. So for all of you out there who are struggling with something emotionally, financially, professionally, know that you're not alone. And if you're going through hard times, reach out to a community to support you, because it is so important. And it makes life so easy when you do that, when you reach out to somebody for help, and when you feel that you are heard, that you are listened to, that you're literally surrounded by a community, even if it's virtual. So thank you so much, Ambreen, for sharing this story. Hello, everyone here, and let's go to Rachel. Do you want to share your story as well, if that's okay with you? Rachel is an author. She's a social media influencer, and we'll be looking forward to hearing her story of empowerment.
I want to say hi to everybody because I see a lot of my friends jumping up on the side. So I want to say hi to everybody and thank them for coming to watch us today. I'll just say my biggest influences in my life. I've had 3 mothers. Okay, I've had the biological mother who died 2 days after giving birth. I have my foster mother who took me in before I was adopted, and then I have my mother who raised me, who is my mother, that I've been with. So everything I do is to honor those 3 women. I stand on the shoulder of those 3 women. I had 1 woman who died for me to live. And that's something that I think about every single day. I'm also very, very passionate to support where I come from. I go back and I stay at the orphanage. I go there every couple years in India. So that's what I do, everything that I do. It's to honor those women who made a conscious choice whether or not for my life to exist. The woman who founded the orphanage, I was dropped off at her door because I was borderline comatose and about to die. She made the choice to take me in. When someone handed her, said, please take care of this baby. And so all these women, we're talking about Women's Day, right? They made the choice for whether or not I would still be standing here today. So I wake up every day to honor those 3 women. I also have an incredible aunt who is a huge mentor to me in my life. Like Ambreen knows, I use my voice for mental health. I'm a huge advocate for that. Why? I have PTSD and I'm not ashamed about it. I don't wish anybody to go through what I went through to have that diagnosis. So I'm using my voice to talk about really hard topics. I use my voice to fight racism, anti-Semitism. I'm an Indian Jewish woman and I'm very proud of that. But I also deal with a lot. I don't sugarcoat anything. I use my voice for the infertility community. I've lost 2 children, through miscarriages. So I use my voice for that community. I've also had a hysterectomy. And I use my voice for that community to say that we still are women, even though we've gone through a hysterectomy. And that is something that I'm deeply passionate about, because people say, like, our soul of who we are as a woman has nothing to do with our body parts. It has nothing to do with it. Our soul it shines from in out, no matter what body parts we have. So I use my voice for all these very tough topics. It's important, right? If you have a platform and you're on social media, you need to take that responsibility very seriously, and you need to do everything you can to move this world forward.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, amazing. I just realized that you women, a lot of women are here are very sensitive, but and strong at the same time. And it looks like being sensitive has nothing to do with strength. In my life, the most sensitive women that I met are the strongest also. Combining between the two is the really real strength, and I'm so proud, and I thank you so much for being here. And Jihane, Jihane is one of these sensitive women that I met in my life, and a very strong woman also. I know she went through a lot, and she always showed up, and I will let her. She was a colleague, a friend, and a coach, a mentor. I will let her share her story, and go ahead, Jihane.
Thank you, Hanane. Thank you, and really happy, and thank you for all your sharing tonight and today. I've been through a lot of things, but hopefully, alhamdulillah, good. I think this is today. Maybe I want to highlight the point: our vulnerability. Mine at least, my vulnerability when I accept it, when I accept to be vulnerable, accept that I can be hurt, I can face really down period. When I really did it, I became strong, and I became like I could touch this the top of my best moment in my life. I've been through disease, I've been through paralyzed, I've been paralyzed, and a lot of disease, but it's okay for the time being. I'm dealing with, but I think that the most challenging thing was or is not being a mom, and I worked on that a lot to accept to be women without being mom. To have this my femininity, to accept and to see, to find my femininity without giving birth. Challenging in society who is asking you, oh, you should ask a doctor, or you should try this. I've been tried a lot, hormones and all that, and I don't want anymore. And hopefully I was in this coaching and therapy path since 2005. I started my own business in 2012, and I decided to give birth of training program, coaching. And it was
Love it.
And this is my why for the time being. It's being with the people who are interested in being in this transformation path. It's for them and for me also, and they know it. There is transfer and counter transfer, but I'm really aware of that. And I really, for the time being, and we were today talking about the breakout of the bias, and the bias for me now is that accepting and touching this shadow, this vulnerability, this to be in real contact and connection with my resilience and also with my power, and to share it and make it like, okay, this is me. I don't want to be like a man. No, I'm a woman, and I love that. I love my body. I love my femininity, my smile, and I will do it as strong as I can, but really totally different than a man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Jihane, for sharing your story. It's amazing how we are different, but still every single person had a story that she used for her why. Somehow the reasons why you are here, because me and Steluta, we created this show because there was a lot of resilience behind our paths. For me, in every single thing that I had to go through in my life, I needed resilience. Without resilience, I would not be here. I lost the right eye and sight at 9 years old. And since then, I needed resilience. I needed resilience to communicate with myself, to take better decisions for myself, to show up even when it's difficult, to smile even when I didn't have the energy, to go for my studies, to go for my work, to show up for my kids, even if it was very tough physically, mentally, and emotionally. I had to struggle a lot. I had to go through many surgeries. I had to face many limiting beliefs that I inherited because of this loss, because of the perception of people around me, because how I was even, I became like a joke at school when I was very young, because, you know, sometimes kids can be very mean and like looking at me and saying mean things because I just inherited scars on my face. But you see, throughout my journey, and I am so happy that I went through this journey of therapy and of coaching also, because I had to do the work from inside first for me before helping others. I had to overcome my limiting beliefs before helping others overcome the limiting beliefs. And I had first to understand that having scars, that's okay. Having deceptions, I had many medical deceptions, that's okay, because I cannot change the past, but I understood I can change my future. I can change what I would like to become. I can change anything that is future based, but I cannot go back and dwell as I used to do in the past. So amazing. Every single thing that I had to overcome came from my thoughts and from my emotions. That's why today in every single I do also, I focus on the mindset and I focus on the roots of the problem, because a lot of what we are doing comes from either something that we are not even in control of, or something that we are just repeating because we are not even conscious of. And then our role today is to make things conscious. And that's why Steluta, as she said earlier, sometimes it takes one session, one video, one thing to trigger something different in our hearts. And today I wish that our messages can at least, I don't know, can make some inspiration that we are enough, that we don't need, I mean, even if we struggled in the past or had some issues in the past, I know some of you had difficult times to overcome. We all did. I know also, by the way, Mariett, we had a guest among us today, and I feel so bad because she just texted me right now and she said that her dad passed away, and I don't know what to say. And yeah, this is life. You see, we are life and this is life. There's something we cannot control, and that's why we need resilience every day. I feel so bad for her, and I hope she can make it. And she apologizes for not being able to show up. And yeah, I mean, life is difficult sometimes.
Exactly. Let's pray for Mariett and her dad as well. As you said, Hanane, I just want to share my story as well. In the end, you very know well, Hanane, this. I was sexually abused when I was a kid several times. I was bulimic when I was going through my college years. I was raised up by a single mom. I had two dads who left us when who left me when I was alone, when I needed them most, and I felt like I was left alone. And I'm still emotional about some parts of this. I lost two marriages. I lost myself on the way, but I found myself meanwhile. So we all have stories that are pretty strong, and not only the ones present here on this panel, but all women, all men have stories that are strong and powerful, and that can become the source of growth if you allow yourself to look at these stories as sources of growth and development, instead of letting them hold you back and hold you down. So I wanna honor you here. I want to honor my mom and honor all the moms, as Rachel beautifully said, on whose shoulders we all stand and we became these women that we are here. I want to also honor our fathers, even though if it's not a Men's Day, but we have now this story that touched our hearts as well. I want to thank you all. I want to celebrate you all. I know that the time is our most valuable resource, and we all want to be respectful of your time as guests and of our viewers' time. Please feel free to reach out to any of the amazing women that you've seen here on the panel via LinkedIn. I assume it's the platform of choice for all of us. If you want to connect with them, please feel free to do so. Reach out to us, to Hanane and to myself. I wish you an amazing rest of your day. Happy International Women's Day. And I would like to close this with, just a hand on the heart and a prayer to Tarja's mom, to Mariett's dad, to all the women out there who are going through difficult times and who need a prayer from all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the people who are listening to us today. And International Women's Day doesn't mean that men are not included, by the way. So yeah, because we complement each other, and then this journey cannot be. We cannot go through this journey without men, and men cannot go without women also. So we're not like creating like a special day just to separate us from the others, but I believe it's complementary, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, wonderful women today, for showing up, even if I know some of you may be tired and it's the end of the day. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you so
International
much.
Women's
Thank
Day,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.